Hi, I'm Ms. B with ICES Education at Bud Carson Middle School for the city of Hawthorne, and today we're doing a watercolor introduction. To begin watercoloring, there's going to be a few things that you need. You're going to need watercolor paint. Doesn't have to be anything too fancy. It can be the simple watercolor paints that you can buy at the dollar store. Anything like that will work. Some brushes. Try to find something that feels a little bit soft, not too hard and stiff. A pencil and eraser to draw out what you want to paint. Some watercolor paper or any sort of paper that you have lying around is completely fine. If you just want to try it out, see how you like it, you do not need watercolor paper, but the paper will help. And lastly, you're going to need some sort of cup or container and with some clean water in it. Here I just have an old yogurt container, so I don't have to use my nice cups for paint. Some optional things that you don't really need but is nice to have. Here I have a little spray bottle, and it's just water, just plain water, to keep my watercolor paints wet, and a little pipette to get water out of the cup and into here just a little bit easier. So let's begin. When you open up your watercolors, they're going to look dry to the touch. You're gonna be able to touch it and you're gonna get no paint on your fingers. They're gonna be completely dry. So you're going to need to activate them with some water. I see a lot of people just getting water and dumping it into the pans of watercolor. This is something that you should not do, because then there'll be too much water in your paint, and that will turn all of your paint into just water and you'll waste paint that way. So if you have a pipette, that's great. So you're going to get some water in there, and you're just going to put 1 or 2 drops into each pan, or whatever pan you're going to use. If you don't have that, you're going to take your brush, dip it into the water, make sure that it's not dripping in water, but it is wet, and you're going to wet the pan, because once you wet the pan, then you will get your nice paint, and it's much less mess this way. If you have a spray bottle, the way I like to use it is to keep them nice and moist, so I don't have to keep adding more water, and they'll just be ready to go when I want to use that color. If you want to switch colors, because right now I just use some of my red, you're going to just dip it into the water, swirl it around on the bottom to clean it off, and then maybe tap it down very gently onto the side of the cup, and then dip it into a new color, pick that color up, go ahead and paint with it. When you are trying to fill in any shapes, there's a few techniques that you can use to achieve different types of styles when you are watercoloring. The most basic is just to fill in the shape with paint. This is called wet on dry, because your brush is wet but the paper is dry. Using this, you can get very clean edges And this is better when you're trying to do some details when you're trying to do some detail work, because you can get thin lines. If your brush starts to feel a little dry, go ahead and dip it in some more water. You can get lines. And you can also just fill in an entire spot with just paint. Another technique is called wet on wet. So with this, I cleaned off my brush and I will not dip it back into the paint. Instead, I will just use a wet brush and I will wet the area that I want to paint. This is the reason why watercolor is a little bit more important and just easier to use, because it is thick enough to handle the amount of water that you are putting on it. So you can feel it and it feels wet. And now you can go ahead and grab some paint. And you can see that I'm dipping it on and the watercolor will spread. So this is wet on wet. This is a good way to mix colors on your paper, because I dipped into the blue, now I can dip into maybe a green and see how it spreads out. That's something that isn't going to happen when you're doing wet on dry. And it's a lot easier to get to blend colors. Maybe I want to try this darker blue. See, that one really spread out a lot. So these are different tricks that you can use in your watercoloring. And one of the last ones that I'm going to show you today is making a gradient. So to make a gradient, what I like to do is I like to use a wet on wet. So again, I'm going to wet my paper with my brush. And a gradient just means that you're going from a dark to a light. So I'm going to really put a lot of paint on my brush. When you're putting paint on your brush, make sure that the paint doesn't go up to this little metal part or plastic part on your brush, because then you can get paint stuck inside, and when you're trying to switch to a different color, that color will actually start to mix in with the paint that you have on your brush. So a gradient means that we're going from a dark to a light. So right here is the darkest part. So I'm going to clean some of that off. And then I'm going to take that paint with a wet brush and kind of move the paint downward. So now you have something going from a darker to a lighter. One issue that some people find with watercolor is that once you put paint down, it's kind of hard to erase your mistakes. But there are ways to lift some of the paint out of the paper. It's not going to be completely white the way it was before, but while it's still wet, you can take a tissue and you can scrub it a little, and some of the paint will come out, not all of it. See, so it's a lot lighter than the rest of it. So if you're trying to make some clouds, that might be a way that you can do that. And there we go. 3 different watercolor techniques. So we have the wet on dry, the wet on wet, and a gradient using the wet on wet. Okay, enjoy!